the Oklahoma story. Okay, so this is way back before Alec and I got our teardrop camper. I have a Dodge Caliber, and we decided, spur of the moment, we wanted to get out of the house, let's road trip. And so we got the Caliber, and we had a bunch of pillows and blankets, put the back seats down, we were just going to sleep in the car at a campground. We were driving, we'd gone to trails all day, we brought the dogs, everything was going great. We decided to settle down in Oklahoma, and Alec had a bottle of wine. And it was not good wine, so he just kind of, you know, drank it pretty fast, and then we tried to settle down for bed, and it was just too hot. You know, we were just sleeping in a car, we tried cracking the windows, it was too hot to sleep. And so Alec, you know, hammered, looks over and says, "Can we go home?" And I lose my mind temporarily. We look it up. We're only about 4 hours away from the house. So we decide, okay, you know what, it'll be fun. It'll be memories. Let's go home. So we decide to pack up and head home. We knew we wouldn't get home until like 2 in the morning, but that was okay. We could sleep in the next day. And then we get about an hour away from home, and I hit a coyote. First time I've ever hit anything, but I hit a coyote. We're coming, and it's running across, and it clips the front right side of the car. We pull over, there's fluid leaking everywhere. At this point, it's like 1:30 in the morning, and we're freaking out. Like, I don't know who to call. I end up calling my brother, and I'm like, "I'm sorry. Like, I don't really know. I don't really know what else to do. Could you come give us a ride?" And AAA said they weren't going to be there for like 2 more hours. And so we were just sitting at a gas station parking lot. You know, we had the dogs. We can bring them in the gas station. There was a motel across the street, but I didn't know if they took dogs. So we're waiting for AAA, waiting for my brother. AAA gets there in like 30 minutes. And so we're like, "Oh, sweet, cool." So we're dealing with that. And then we're telling them, like, "Yeah, we're going to have to wait here for an hour and a half, I guess, because we can't do anything." And he was like, "Oh, well, you can ride with me." And this was when COVID was just kind of getting like, I think the masks had come out, but it was still pretty new, and one of those in between times. And so we had our masks, but it was one of those trucks that the only seating was the front row. So I'm sitting right next to this guy, and he's very, very nice, but kind of a weirdo. And I don't know him, and so my husband's sitting right next to me, Alec, and I'm just kind of like trying to lean to him. He tells us all about his life story. We got our dogs in the car in the back, and we drive the hour home. I mean, it was such a crazy night. And then we ended up going back to our hometown, and he dropped our car off at the collision center. Luckily, the collision center was only about 2 blocks from our house, so we say goodbye, we get into our car, and get all our stuff out from the trip. So we've got pillows, blankets, the snacks that we've had. We don't know how long the car is going to be in the shop, so we're grabbing everything we can. Arms are loaded, and then we've got the dogs, each of us 1 leash. And we're just walking home with all of this stuff with 2 dogs at like 3 in the morning. Walking back to our house, and it was a crazy, crazy night. So if at any point we say we're pulling in Oklahoma, or if we reference the Oklahoma trip, this is what we're talking about, where we up and decided to leave instead of staying the night, just so we could wake up in our own bed, whether it was too hot, or if we got sketched out, or if we just weren't feeling it, you know. So yeah, that's the Oklahoma trip.